going to be speaking at the Republican convention tomorrow night. Sheriff, thank you very much for that horrific day. I spoke to the heads of the sheriff department, the police department, and the state police down there, and they told us how their hearts were reeling. Their message is peace and coming together in the country. What's your message?
You don't believe that for 1 minute, do you?
That their message is?
Yeah.
That's what they said to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe them. Of
Any
course I believe them
protests
when they say
over the
that.
deaths of these cops today in Baton Rouge?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Any riots or protests over the police officers in Dallas, Texas?
What are you asking?
It's a pretty simple question.
I asked you if what's your message to the people. Their message is one of peace. What is your message?
My message has been clear from day one 2 years ago. This anti-cop sentiment from this hateful ideology called Black Lives Matter has fueled this rage against the American police officer.
Hold on, whoa. Shit.
What?
Those are up there the whole time.
So?
All right, we'll just,
predicted this 2 years ago. So what I want to know.
Okay, Sheriff.
Do I want to know?
With all due respect, do you know that this was because of that?
Yes, I do.
As a law enforcement officer?
I've been watching this for 2 years. I predicted this. This anti-police rhetoric sweeping the country has turned out some hateful things inside of people that are now playing themselves out on the American police officer. I want to know, with all of the black-on-black violence in the United States of America, by the way, when the tragedies happened in Louisiana and Minnesota, do you know that 21 black people were murdered across the United States? Was there any reporting on that?
There was a black officer who was killed today. But
was there any reporting on that?
Sheriff, please, let's just keep the volume down here. So I understand, and listen,
I'm looking at 3 dead cops this week,
Sheriff,
and I'm looking at 5 last year. You trying to tell me to keep it down?
Just please, if you'll just please, we can keep it civil. So, because the message to people at home, I'm sure you want, is one of civility.
I wish, Don, I wish you had that message of civility
to have a conversation
toward this
with you.
Hateful ideology, these purveyors of hate.
You don't know what my message is.
That's
what I want to say
do.
to you is,
these people preach vile and virtue
we'll be right
in the
back.
name
We're
of
going to go to break,
hate.
and we'll be right back. All I want to do is have a conversation.
this is a real ninja right here.
I mean, look, Don can't control it. He had to go to break. Oh, I gotta go to break. I gotta go to break, bruh. Stay
Blasted
on business
him.
with the man.
He blasted him.
Don't be scared.
It's crazy.
I like this dude.
It's crazy because this really look like what's going on right now.
It's
actually.
exactly the same thing as what's going on right now. 100%. This dude is a real one. I like him a lot. Yeah, this dude's telling the truth. He's talking about how BLM pushes cop hate.
Yeah, I mean, he put Don Lemon on the spot, man. He couldn't answer.
He didn't see that coming.
He couldn't
either.
see. He said,
he didn't see that coming.
You don't know what my message is.
What's your message? What do you mean?
He said, well, one of the cops that died today is black, okay? And I bet Black Lives Matter hated him.
And Don Lemon never does good whenever he gets confronted on air, clearly, because you have this, and then Vivek, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous because it's like, this guy who's a black sheriff is telling you that this organization is hateful and wrong. And we know that people who say things like Black Lives Matter will call black men who become cops, or black even women who become cops,
sell out.
And it's really like they're normally the cops you see in predominantly black areas, and they trying to stop the crime. They a lot of times are from these areas.
My point, so
but they sellouts. They doing the white man's justice. They slave catchers.
If you care about black people and you are on the side of the cops are against black people, well, how could you help black people? Well, you can't stop the cops because we know defund the police is a dumb idea. So what would you do? Well, maybe black cops. But then you call them sellouts.
Oh no!
So what do you actually want? You don't want them to be defunded.
Just let the violence go rampant.
So
violence go rampant.
So just let the black people kill each other. That's what you want.
Yep.
But you care about black people.
Nope.
You don't.
What it sounds like to me is that you're accusing me of violence and supporting a narrative that I'm not necessarily in support of. And if that's what you're accusing me of violence, then you can leave. That's not true. I don't support violence of any type against police officers, against anyone. So if you're accusing me of that, then you're welcome to leave. But if you want to have a conversation, I am more than willing to welcome a conversation with you. I don't disagree with you about there is a narrative across the country that could be harming police officers. But we don't know right now as someone who's in law enforcement, if that was the actual cause of it. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. Do we know that generally the American law enforcement officers are racist? Do we know this?
Great question.
Go on.
I ask a question.
Do I know American general law enforcement are
Yeah.
racist? I don't think anyone is accusing. If you're insinuating that people are accusing or saying that law enforcement across this country as a whole are racist, then your assumption is wrong.
First of all, this whole anti-police rhetoric is based on a lie. There is no data, and you know this. There is no data, there is no research that proves any of that nonsense. None.
You'd have to be more specific about what data and what nonsense you're talking about.
Don't play stupid.
That law enforcement officers treat black males different than white males in policing in these urban
There
centers.
is data that supports.
There is not data.
No. The president spoke about it. Cedric Alexander,
The
who is a law
president has
enforcement
been
officer,
lying about it. He said it again the other day when he said black males are 2 times more likely to be shot by a law enforcement officer than white males. Don, that is a lie.
That is not a lie.
It is a lie.
Yes,
Show me.
The research.
Show me.
The research
Show
that
it to me then.
we have from the Washington Post. That
The Washington
facilitated a
Post
study.
debunked
There's
that
also
nonsense.
There's also research.
He also said this,
Sheriff,
Don.
There's also research.
He
from
continues?
a Harvard professor that also shows.
He's keeping it real. He doesn't care about the narrative. He says what he truly believes, and he actually cares about making a difference. He's a police officer. It just doesn't make sense to say that, oh, well, the police wake up in the morning and go and try to kill a black person. That's what BLM pretty much, that's the message they push. That's where the all cops are bad and all this nonsense came from all this BLM stuff. I like this dude a lot, and I agree with everything that he is saying. The best thing for black people is more police. If you look at any city that's safe, they have a lot of police. Why? Because police keep people safe.
I also think it's interesting that we see in these cities where people are getting harmed by ICE and they're getting super physical with ICE is because their leaders are not allowing the police to enforce law and order and allowing them to just run rampant. So it's almost like ICE in a free-for-all and there's no law and order because the police are not allowed to get involved from these state leaders. So it's ridiculous. I mean, there's always a direct correlation with lack of police presence and
Crime.
Danger. Like
I think that makes sense.
Like when I see police lights and I see the police, when I go to an event or I go somewhere, I feel safer.
Me too.
I'm like, oh,
That's true.
Why are you not
feel
afraid?
better.
Because you're not a criminal.
I've heard people say, oh, I hate when I see the cops. Well, I don't want to go anywhere you go. I want to go somewhere and see the police. I want to go to the bar on the weekend. And I want to see cop cars outside. I want to see bar security. I don't want to see a cop car outside. I'm going to feel safe as hell.
The only reason you wouldn't
I'm
is if
going to have me
you
a
are
great
criminal.
time.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
More aggressively by police officers.
No, you are
than other people.
wrong in your interpretation of that Harvard study because I read the study. That's not what he said. He said he was surprised to find
that in shootings of the most severe in shootings that he found no evidence that there was a difference. Also, it should be noted that that study was a very small sampling of police departments across the country. Many people did not find it credible, but it is also interesting that in that research, he found that blacks were treated differently when it came to aggressive policing, but for the most egregious shootings, he found no difference. That's what that study showed.
Well, based on what? Just generally? Are we talking about high crime areas? Are we talking about police officers being under attack? Because let's go back to where this whole thing started in Ferguson, Missouri. The lie was hands up, don't
lumping
shoot.
a whole bunch of things into one. If we can do one specific
That's
thing
where
and
this
stick to
whole
it,
phony movement
we'll get to
started.
it.
It started out as hands
You're
up, don't
talking about
shoot.
Black Lives Matter.
Right.
Okay. So if you want to, if you would need to speak to someone who is a member of Black Lives Matter about whether they have perpetrated a fraud on the American people. That's up to Black Lives Matter. That's not me. I'm neither a member of Black Lives Matter, I'm neither a supporter or someone who doesn't support them. I simply report on Black Lives Matter.
Do you condemn the anti-police rhetoric coming from this hateful ideology?
Yes
As
or no?
a journalist sitting here on television, I don't have to condemn anyone, anything. That is something that you should ask other people around the country.
I condemn
it's their
them
jobs to condemn
just
that.
like I condemn the
just report
hateful
the fact.
ideology out of groups like the KKK. All right? I condemn it. There is no place in American discourse for that sort of vile, vitriolic hate coming out of this ideology. This has fueled and fanned the flames of this anger toward the American police officer. There's only one group in America, one time, that truly cares about the lives of black people in these urban ghettos. And it's the American police officer who goes down there on a daily basis, puts their life on the line to protect who? Black people.
Come on.
So when you say we just want to have a
put their lives on the
conversation,
lines to affect-
let's
to protect
have a
all people.
conversation about the black-on-black crime, which kills more black males, which is more of a threat to any black male in the United States
Facts.
than a law enforcement officer.
Sheriff. Yes, that's a different conversation.
That is not at all a different conversation. That is the exact same conversation, and that is a 100% fact. Everyone, if you can't acknowledge what he just said right there, then you're just lying to yourself, because everyone knows that it is true. You are way more of a threat. What are you more of a threat? Going around in the hood where you can be robbed, anything, or just
You want to know something?
walking by a police officer?
I was on Instagram Reels the other day, and this dude, he was like, "Yeah, I didn't buy this gun for white people." A black guy, by the way. So I bought this gun for black people. See, I don't walk around clutch my gun when I see white people. We're not even Mexicans. Rarely. He said, but when I see black people, I'm glad I got it. I said, damn, brother. I said, damn. That shit had 1 million views and likes.
It says 86%, but I've also seen 90. I've seen 93. But we all know. We don't even have to look it up. We know. Anecdotal data and living your life will tell you. We know this. This is a problem. Black on black violence is a huge problem. So why does BLM not speak on it? Because it doesn't help their narrative. They don't care about the black people dying. They care about their narrative.
And profit.
There's an issue when it comes to violence. Black on black crime, or it's crime. White people kill white people, tend to kill white people. Black people tend to kill black people.
Not in the numbers.
That's fine, but that's a different
I don't
conversation.
care who white
That is
people
a
are killing.
different conversation than police brutality, and we're not having that conversation right now.
And
again, I want to be very clear with you. I condemn all violence of any type, just for the record.
Was the situation between Mike Brown and Darren Wilson, was that police brutality?
But we're not talking about Mike
Yes
Brown
or
and
no?
Darren Wilson.
I am.
No, if you're asking me what the Justice Department showed, the Justice Department showed that it exonerated Officer Darren Wilson, and that the hands up, don't shoot narrative was a false narrative. That has been reported by CNN and by others.
Was another phony report.
What does that
was
have to
debunked.
do with Baton Rouge,
All
Louisiana?
right, because when you take in
What does that have
when
to
you
do
take
with
in
Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
rates of involvement in violent crime, and crime in general, but violent crime, you're going to see that black males are overrepresented. Overrepresented in terms of being involved in violent crime. That's going to mean more arrests. That's going to mean more people going to prison. This stuff has already been debunked.
Sheriff, that's a different conversation.
It's not.
Many people
Every
don't.
time
I don't understand why he keeps running from this conversation.
It's not that I don't have a response to you. Is that we're having two different conversations. I'm asking the questions here. You're answering the questions by asking questions about some other subject that we're not discussing.
We're talking
is
about
not a
this hateful
conversation.
ideology called Black Lives Matter. You said you're not
He
a
done
member.
stayed on
You
the-
can't be a member. It's not an organization.
That's
There's no
what,
structure.
That's what
It
you're
is
talking
an
about. Listen, I understand,
ideology, and it is a
and I
hateful
understand that you're very.
ideology.
I understand it's a very stressful time for you.
These individuals,
And Sheriff, we appreciate you coming on.
they preach
Thank you.
vile and vitriol in the name of virtue.
Yeah, thank you, Sheriff. I appreciate it.
He grilled the
Other subject
shit
that
out of
we're not
him.
dis-
He was running from that
He
conversation.
grilled him. He didn't. He said that's a different conversation. No, it's the exact
I
conversation.
mean, the sheriff has stayed on topic the whole time. He started with Black Lives Matter, and he started going to different instances of what started Black Lives Matter, what they believe in, what the facts are, and that's what it was. And Don Lemon, I don't know what he was running from.
Well, and his point was the ideology the Black Lives Matter is pushing on people is that cops are bad and that they only target black people. So when 3 officers are killed because of this ideology, then that conversation becomes relevant. So when you don't want to have that conversation, and the officers are being killed for doing their job, but then you come and ask, well, what do you think about the officers being killed? Well, I think that this ideology is one of the reasons that they were killed. Oh, that's a different conversation. No, it's actually not, because this is a lot of the reason why. He also said, why are there no protests for them? One of them was black. Why is there no protests for them? Because
He's a cop.
okay, we all know Black Lives Matter is a scam. I would never in my life support Black Lives Matter. Damn. Never, ever, ever, never.
Damn.
Never.
Damn.
Till they matter in the hood, don't do this to me. Sorry.
Damn.
Don't
That's a
care.
fair argument.
When they matter in the hood, and I care about black people. That's why we need black men like this who are man enough to go against the grain and stand up for what they truly believe in and say the things that are against the typical narrative, because clearly the typical narrative that black people are pushing has not helped the violence go down at all. So if we want the violence to go down, if we want black people to be more successful, maybe we should switch the narrative from they're just victims to we need to stop killing each other, because that is a problem.
It's not gonna stop until the drug situation is gone.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's behind drugs.
I think a lot
I
of
don't think it is,
I
bro.
think it's poverty.
I think,
White people do a lot of drugs. They don't kill as much.
but there's like
Mexican cartels, you hear about Mexicans in the fentanyl and all that here? It is a violence. We celebrate
is
violence in
killing-
music.
I think
it's
it's
poverty.
dealing a lot with poverty and drugs.
I think it's culture.
Poverty.
It's culture. It's the culture. Look at the music. Look at the schools. Look at the fatherless homes.
but a lot of
You ain't no
people,
real ninja until you've been to jail.
But I feel like a lot of if it's gang violence, with the gang violence come with dealing with drugs
And
I feel
poverty.
Like, yeah,
Why are they in gangs?
And poverty.
Why are they in gangs?
I think
'Cause they're poor.
I think
No.
drugs, I think drug crime, lack of education, all that stuff is directly linked with poverty.
Yes.
And I think that making those decisions is a poverty decision. It's poverty thinking.
Does the music play a role?
Yes.
I don't.
Do the fatherless
I say-
homes
okay,
play a
no,
role?
I say the music
plays a role because
to
it
an
shows,
extent.
it shows that you can choose this poverty ass mindset and this poverty lifestyle and be rewarded and
But
benefit
why
from it.
white
Do-
people
do-
don't kill each other like
Because
drugs
what
and music?
representation do they have of people
But they're
being crash
listening to
dummies?
it still, you know? That's why I can't say the music
Hold
all
on.
the way. Because it's like you watching crime shows and say, damn, I'm finna go do that crime. It's like on that level.
But when you partner that with the fatherless homes, the glorifying of killing, and then we're not condemning people for killing. If a black man kills another black man, everyone's on Instagram doing what? Free him. Free him. Free him. You've never seen nobody ever post say leave him locked up. I've never in my life seen that, not once.
That is
Never,
true.
ever. We condone violence. We do. Unless
That
it's
is
a police
true.
officer.
That is true. But I'm just saying, majority of it is going to be behind drugs.
It's not behind
Bro,
drugs.
you keep saying drugs. Drugs is tied with poverty. I don't think drug crime is as prevalent as you.
I don't
making
think
it
it's the
seem.
drugs either, bro.
I don't think it's a drug. I think it's
I
the
think
poverty.
I think it's just, and it's a pride thing too.
Pride
Somebody
thing.
lose a fight, what's gonna happen?
That is a fair.
I remember in Lafayette, I watched these white boys fight for 10 straight minutes, like 10 of them. Then they got in the car and left. Brandon was sitting in the car, he didn't even see it. And they was behind him literally scrapping. If that was black people, do you think it would have ended the same? Be honest. We know what would have
Yes or
happened.
no?
It would have been shots, 100%. Keeping it real. We gone.